former National Printing and Stationery Corporation, offers an array of designs for print service ranging from business cards, stationery, book publishing, banners, t-shirts, card printing, perfect binding, programs, and a lot more. The GPPC is on equals for its fast printing and finishing capacity at unbeatable prices to meet your specific requirements. If you think your dad is a hero, if you think your dad is a hero. Discover dozens of eye-catching graphic designs and stunning digital printing where guaranteed quality and prompt deliveries are assured. GPPC, your ultimate solution to printing and production.
Good evening and welcome to the news at 10. In the headlines tonight, President Jammeh challenges Gambian youth to take more active part in agricultural production for greater productivity and meaningful development. Vice President Jai Sedi missed a delegation of Saudi clerics who are in Banjul to help build the capacity of local imam, qadis and women. Egypt fires more than 600 police officers for their role in the killings of anti-Mubarak protesters in Cairo's Tahrir Square. And Mumbai on red alert as a triple bomb blast in the Indian commercial city leaves some 70 people dead and more than 100 others injured. These stories and much more coming here in the news. I am Aissatou. We thank you for joining us. His Excellency the President, Chief Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya Jammeh, has challenged Gambian youth to take a more active part in agricultural production and sacrifice for meaningful development. The Gambian leader was speaking in Bakadaji and Gambisara Upper River region, where he issued directives for the construction of the road linking Soto Masire and Gambisara. Abdunjai is with the presidential entourage and he sent us this report.
The President has continued to push deeper into the hinterland with a crucial message for greater agricultural productivity. This annual dialogue with the People Tour entered a very significant phase on Wednesday, as he left Janjangburi in the company of the First Lady, Her Excellency Madam Zainab Yahya Jammeh. The entourage later arrived in Bakadaji in the Jumara constituency, Upper River region. The meeting venue was jam-packed with party loyalists and militants who, in spite of the President's no-campaign policy, mustered a massive turnout to express their political allegiance. But agriculture was again the main point of reference, which only points to the lack of enough youth participation to state its development. The President, whose tour mission hinges on the grounds of a much-needed change in cultivation, commended the women folk for their exemplary service. The same, however, cannot be said about the youth, whose attitude is seen as a setback to the country's development. The President of the Republic urged them to adopt a moral stand in observance of our existing culture and tradition, which dictates respect and sacrifice. For President Jammeh, the time wasted in taking dangerous routes in search of greener pastures will better be spent in service of the nation. He was again in conflicts also with the timing of other sporting events, which distract the youth from their major task of either helping their parents or making ends meet at a personal level during the rain. Prior to his statement, officials accompanying him had took up other issues addressing the root cause of our development. From education to security, political discussion, and the need to return President Jammeh's gratitude for unending improvements he continues to chart for the citizenry, their focus was on agreeability of a government in unity. A number of representatives from the community also spoke at the ceremony. Their message was that of gratitude not only for the developments ushered in by President Jammeh's government, but also for the time taken to dialogue with them, while highlighting the long-standing relationship that exists between the community of Bakadaji and the Gambian leader. Chief Haji Wule Kamara used the occasion to declare the area a no-oppose zone, with the hope that it can break a political record by denying the opposition of votes in the area. President Jammeh left Bakadaji with the same fanfare going off-road into Gambisara. His support base here is uncompromised, and was led into the village some kilometers from the main road by riders on motorbikes and horseback, At the meeting, he issued directives to the Works Minister to execute his long-time ambition of constructing the stretch that leads into the village. We also called on the Sarawili community to create the necessary space for the road to run through, noting the present road conditions restrict access to the village, which he said is unsafe and insecure in the event of a fire disaster. Responding to the request from a number of defectors for constant water and electricity supply for the village of Sutuna, the President said the November 24 election will decide their case. The defectors led into a meeting by Alhaji Musa Sankano had said Sutuna is in dire need for presidential assistance. But in the midst of this political fit, the people of Dambisara, on the other hand, have proved their constituency chairman declared their 6,000 votes are all for President Jammeh. The Minister of Works, Construction and Infrastructure, Dr. Njoguba, was the only official who spoke at the brief meeting. He announced the donation by President Jammeh of 20 bags of fertilizers, 2 million machines, and other farm implements earmarked for the community of Dambisara. The President arrived later in Basse, the regional capital for the Upper River region, to a tumultuous reception. Both sides of the road leading to the town were flanked by jubilant militants, loyalists and well-wishers, while the President's security struggled to control the pace of the convoy, already at the dictate of riders on motorbikes. The entrance today crossed over to Wuli for 2 important meetings in the villages of Bajakunda and Sutukondin. Abdinjai, Grts, Basse, Upper River region.
A delegation of Saudi clerics, accompanied by officials of the Gambia Supreme Islamic Council, called on the Vice President, Her Excellency Ajah Dr. Tunjai Saidi on Thursday. The delegation is in the country to build the capacity of local imam, qadis and women. Mamadou Jallo was at State House and reports members of the APRC Spain chapter also called on the Vice President to brief her on the activities they have been embarking on.
The clerics were the first to call on the Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, Her Excellency Ajah Dr. Tunjai Saidi at State House, accompanied by officials of the Gambia Supreme Islamic Council. According to Dr. Mbaika, the clerics are in the country to build the capacities of local imams, qadis and women.
We can call it building of capacities, because these imams are graduates from the universities, various universities in Saudi Arabia, in Egypt, in Sudan. But this kind of training is just capacity building. This is why they are building their capacities in terms of judiciary for the qadis, and in terms of teaching Arabic language, in terms of dealing with people, because calling people to Islam needs means and trends. So they are giving them many good capacities, equip them with knowledge, not knowledge in that sense, because the basic knowledge is there, but give him how to use this knowledge.
The Vice President welcomed the clerics on behalf of the President of the Republic, whom he described as a great patron of Islam in the Gambia. He described President Jammeh as God-fearing and has sacrificed a lot for Islam and Muslims. He described as critical any training that would enhance the knowledge of imams and women.
Because the imams are found everywhere in this country. And they've been trained. They get their training from different parts of the world. Different tariqas also. Therefore, standardizing the training is very important to us. That has been a challenge in this country.
The Vice President also hailed the close relations between Saudi Arabia and the Gambia, reassuring that the two governments will continue to work harder. He later received a presentation of items which include a Quran for the President. Later, the Vice President also received a donation of Islamic books produced by Sir Tijan Cham. According to Cham, the works were inspired by President Jammeh's call for Gambians to take the development of the country into their hands.
And the donation itself, Your Excellency, is made to appreciate and also to reciprocate President Jammeh's noble efforts in sponsoring the Gambian children in all different levels of education, in the Gambia and outside the Gambia also.
Cham expressed pride for producing such a work and thanked the President for accepting what he called a humble donation. He described President Jammeh as a president who loves and is loved by his people. In response, the Vice President described the donation as a great day for Islam and the Islamic Ummah. Ustaz Bajan and Abdul Koli, Minister of Trade, Regional Integration and